And Everton in possession inside their own half. Van den Haar puts it into the Liverpool half, where it's won by Whelan to Dalglish, and Dalglish finds Nicol on the far side. Good ball by Nicol. Craig Johnston chasing hard. Johnston just outside the penalty area, tackled by Kevin Ratcliffe, and the clearance finally by Sheedy towards the halfway line. Lawrenson helps it back for Liverpool, but the linesman's flag is up on the far side against Kenny Dalglish for offside, so it will be a free kick to Everton. The captain, Kevin Ratcliffe, hits it back, his third cup final in succession as the Everton captain, and only the fifth Welshman to lift the FA Cup here at Wembley. Ball drops just inside the Everton half, won by Whelan, but he loses out, and it's laid back for Gary Stevens for Everton, and sensibly gives the ball to Mims. What a day for Bobby Mims. Only his 12th game in the Everton first team, just a few weeks ago, on loan away from the club. Ball midway inside the Liverpool half. Whelan hits it high, well controlled by Rush, but Rush's pass short for McDonald, and Bracewell wins it, trying to find Graham Sharp on the far side. Sharp is there again, can't direct the header though, and Whelan clears deep into the Everton half. Rush tangles with Mountfield, and Rush has fouled Mountfield according to the referee. That will be a free kick for Everton. Jimmy Armfield alongside me. An important opening sector of the game, Jim.
Yes, I think they're trying to get these first tackles in. First time you get it, find possession, find one of your own players. That's what we're looking to do in the early part of the game. Nothing silly. As you say, big ball for Bobby Mims. It is as well for Beglin and McDonald on the other side. It's their first time here. And these three lads will want to get in the game as quickly as possible.
A moment of danger perhaps coming up for Liverpool, because Alan Hansen, pushing Gary Lineker in the back, has given Everton a free kick. Half a dozen yards outside the Liverpool penalty area. Sheedy is there, so too is Gary Stevens. Reed standing over the ball at the moment, lays it to Bracewell. Stevens tries the shot, but it's high over Bruce Grobbelaar's crossbar, and that will be a goal kick to Liverpool. Something of a surprise there, because Sheedy is the free kick expert for Everton, and he would normally have been expected to strike that. When he didn't, it was the fullback Stevens who did, and the end result, safety for Liverpool, and Grobbelaar with the goal kick. Right-footed clearance by Grobbelaar, dropping 10 yards inside the Everton half. Van den Haar beats Johnston in the air. Nichols there for Liverpool. Gets a second bite. Good ball laid forward to Dalglish. Dalglish out to Johnston, a yard in from the far touchline. Liverpool right. Tried to find Dalglish once more, but Sheedy did well. Has to concede the throw in though. And Sheedy limps away from that challenge by Steve Nicol. It will be Nicol who will take the throw in for Liverpool, midway inside the Everton half. Down to Molby. Molby, good ball out to Johnston, but the referee spotted a foul by Peter Reid on Molby after the ball had left the Dane's foot, and it will be a free kick to Liverpool. Molby standing over the ball. Lawrenson comes up. Lawrenson takes it. Short to the right for Nicol. Nicol played back inside once more for Molby, and Molby, not liking the options up front, brings his captain into play inside the centre circle. Long ball forward by Hampson, chested down by Johnston. Now it's Molby. Johnston is short to his right. Johnston goes on the run, but Molby's brought down. And the second foul on Jan Molby within a minute. Another free kick to Liverpool. A couple of yards in from the far touchline. Jan Molby will be a very influential member of that Liverpool midfield. Taken quickly. Nichols cross in, rush for the header, but no danger. He rose well, but without the direction or the power, and the ball went 5 yards past Bobby Mims' left hand upright.
I think Liverpool will be more appreciative of the way they've started, certainly than Everton. They put one or two passes together, 2 free kicks, both knocked short, and consequently that always looks to me as though they're fairly confident.
Mims with the goal kick, drops inside the centre circle. Whelan rises, can't meet it. Liverpool win possession with Molby. Still inside the centre circle. Dalglish's first time pass only finds Van den Haar, but Van den Haar's long ball forward outside the Liverpool penalty area, met by Grobbelaar. Not an Everton player within range, and Grobbelaar calls his defenders towards him. Lays it short for Hansen, just outside that Liverpool penalty area. 15 yards to his left for Beglin. Left foot, long ball played forward. Stevens is under it. Only directs it to Rush. Rush to Whelan, back to Rush. Good play by the Liverpool players on this near side. Liverpool left. Tried to do another 1-2, did Rush with Molby, but it broke down that time. and Stevens clears long. Hansen stretches out his right foot just in time, directs the ball out of play. Lineker was there in danger, and it's a throw-in to Everton. Midway inside the Liverpool half. On this near side of the field, that's the Everton right in the first half. Stevens, the fullback, takes the throw-in to Reid. Reid turns away from Mulby, looks for support, chips it to the far side of the field, met by Sheedy. Sheedy back to Ratcliffe, and Ratcliffe first time ball forward, looking for Bracewell. Liverpool win it back. Mulby tries to set Johnston clear on the right, but the pass without the direction on that occasion, and Ratcliffe, who was up in support of his attack one moment, back defending the next, and lays it back to Mims. Out to the edge of his penalty area. Right-footed. No score here at Wembley. 6 minutes gone in this all-Merseyside final. I can tell you there's already a goal at Hampden Park in the Scottish Cup final. And poor Hearts, who lost the Scottish League title in rather tragic fashion last Saturday afternoon, are already a goal down to Aberdeen. John Hewitt with the goal for Alex Ferguson's team. Aberdeen 1, Hearts 0. Here it's Everton 0, Liverpool 0. Liverpool in possession. Beglin hits it long. Mountfield's clearance. Sharp is under it. Directs the header towards Lineker, but Hansen's in there quickly. And then Hansen's a little slow to clear when Bracewell dashed in. And Liverpool just a little fortunate that the ball went past any sense of danger and back to Grobbelaar inside his own penalty area. The Liverpool keeper's long clearance headed on by Johnston. Dalglish chases, but Ratcliffe's there to put the ball out of play, far side of the field. Midway inside the Everton half. Liverpool right. Nicol takes a throw into Dalglish. Back to Nicol. Into the penalty area. McDonald's there. And McDonald was appealing to the linesman as Mims gathered the ball. I think he was suggesting that the ball bounced up against Derek Mountfield's hand. But the linesman had a perfect view of that incident, kept his flag down, and certainly no penalty. Mims' clearance just drops inches inside his own half. Well controlled by Sheedy. And Sheedy, then under pressure from Nicol, decides against going forward. Looks back to Mims again and says, here, have it back. Another go. The second attempt by Mims. Met by the head of Johnston. And Johnston's header into the Everton half. Nowhere near any Liverpool players. Back is Van den Haar. And Van den Haar gives the ball to his goalkeeper once more. It's going to be tight. It's certainly going to be tigerish in midfield. And if you ignore the evidence of the two Merseyside derbies this season, there's not likely to be too many goals. We had a stunning game at Goodison back in September, which Liverpool won 3-2. Everton replayed the complement at Anfield, winning 2-0. But it's rare to have that many goals in a Merseyside derby. And perhaps one goal this afternoon could well decide the destination of the FA Cup. Bracewell, forward to Reid, inside the Liverpool half, tackled heavily by Whelan. And the referee looked at first, and I was pretty sure he wasn't going to award the free kick, and then he changed his mind. And he has done. Free kick to Everton.
Yes, I think he had to give a free kick in that situation. It's a bit scrappy the match at the moment.
Stevens, the fullback, will take this free kick. 25 yards inside the Liverpool half. Takes it right-footed into that penalty area. Mountfield with a run. Headed clear by Hansen. Met by Bracewell. Bracewell tries to head it out to this near side of the field. Looking for Trevor Stephen, but Beglin clears for Liverpool. Over the halfway line. Ratcliffe jumps with his Welsh roommate Ian Rush and fouls Rush. Best of friends. Not many kind words between the two this afternoon, I'm sure, but there'll be a pint between the two afterwards, whatever happens. The free kick taken by Liverpool quickly. It's with Beglin. Strikes it left-footed. Good ball. Met by McDonald just inside the penalty area, but Van den Haar's in there to clear. Helped by Ratcliffe. Just a moment of danger there. It was a good ball played in by Jim Beglin, the fullback. But Everton have possession once more. Van den Haar. Van den Haar's poor pass forward. Nicol for Liverpool. Forward to McDonald. McDonald couldn't control it. Mountfield got in there quickly and back to Mims, but Kevin McDonald, Jimmy, is moving upfield far more often and far more quickly than we'd expect.
Yes, he's got in there twice and he's trying to make it a third time there. He's been a bit unlucky. That's a bit of a surprise for Everton to see McDonald coming up as quickly and as often as he has done.
Good play by Sharp. Back to Reid. Reid gets the cross into that Liverpool penalty area, but Sheedy was pushing Johnston as he headed the ball down, and that will be a free kick to Liverpool. goodness, in the two Merseyside derbies we've had this season, Kenny Dalglish surprised everyone in the first one by playing Jan Molby as a sweeper. Then in the second, he had Jan Molby as a striker alongside Ian Rush. I wonder if Kevin McDonald's going to surprise us all tactically this afternoon. Hansen, the Liverpool captain, lays it 10 yards to his left to Beglin, and Beglin forward into the Everton half to Dalglish. Dalglish forward to Rush. Rush is onside with the ball too far forward of the Welsh striker. Mims comes out to the edge of his penalty area, gathers safely, but a moment of danger there for Everton. Mims' clearance, headed on by Sheedy. Sheedy to Lineker, and Lineker backing into Lawrenson, but the referee says Liverpool have the advantage. They certainly have possession. It's with McDonald, who McDonald rather dangerously hits it back in the vague direction of Mark Lawrenson, and Lineker so quick, rushed after it, and Lawrenson just stepped up a pace and played it safely back to Grobbelaar. The long clearance from the goalkeeper bounces inside that Everton penalty area. Tremendous distance there, but Bobby Mims gathers easily as Rush came in. Tremendous length in the clearance by Grobbelaar.
Yes, he's got the wind behind them at the moment, Liverpool. But apart from that, they started far more confidently. The back players, in particular, preparing to play short balls for the midfield players, get them into the game early. I think that's the tactic that Liverpool have gone for, and they're pushing Molby and McDonald forward to close Everton down. And so far, they've succeeded because Everton really haven't put an attack together yet of any real significance.
They have a throw-in at the moment inside their own half, taken by Stevens. Stephen can't direct his header to any good effect as far as Everton are concerned, and Johnston back there for Liverpool, lays it 30 yards back to Bruce Grobbelaar. On the edge of his penalty area, kicks it right-footed from right to left, high in the wind at Wembley Stadium. Almost fell for Johnston, but Everton win possession. Sheedy, the header down by Reid for Bracewell, back to Reid once more, and then Reid looking for Sheedy to make the run, but the Republic of Ireland international hadn't done so, so Liverpool with possession again. They've got a throw-in on the far side of the field, taken quickly by Dalglish for Johnston, and Johnston has won a corner. The first corner of the match. 12 minutes gone here at Wembley. Still Everton 0, Liverpool 0, and the corner won by Craig Johnston on the far side of the field. That's the Liverpool right in the first half. Steve Nicol coming short, and Gary Lineker back to shadow Nicol, and Johnston decides to hit it long and not to good effect because it strikes Gary Lineker and bounces out of play for a throw-in. Wasted corner by Liverpool. Johnston takes the throw-in, down to Nicol. Better cross this time. Beglin with a header from about 15 yards, but he headed that one like a fullback who didn't know where the goal was when he wanted to find it, and it went 10 yards beside Mims' left hand upright. Goal kick to Everton.
Yes, he got himself forward. A good position for Beglin, really. He might have done a little bit better with that. As you say, I wouldn't say typical fullback header. Phil Neal and I won't agree with that.
I didn't mean you, Jim. I can't remember that far back. Liverpool in possession inside their own half. Nicol lays it forward, then gets it back when it came off an Everton player. Better ball this time to Rush. Molby back inside his own half, though, to Hansen, and Hansen lays it short for Beglin. And goodness gracious, I've just seen a fan perched on the roof of Wembley Stadium away to my right. I have no idea how he got up there. He's got easily the best view in the whole of the stadium. There are 100,000 people here and him, and he's got the best seat in the house. He's a brave man. I'm sure the police will be waiting for him at the end of the game, which is a great pity. His courage deserves better than that. The ball is out of play on this near side of the field. Throw in to Everton. Stevens, the right full-back, will take it. Looking for length. He's got a good long throw as Gary Stevens, but only finds Beglin on that occasion. Ball played forward to Rush. Rush can't control it. Lyle Lawrenson, deep inside his own half, under pressure from Lineker and Sharp. Does well. Out to Beglin. Long ball played forward, headed clear by Ratcliffe, only as far as Rush. Now it's Molby. Midway inside the Everton half. Molby's foul. Referee waves play on. It's with Craig Johnston. Touches it a few yards to his right. Can Nicol keep it in play? He can do. Turns inside Vanden Hart. Well, then the fullback just stretches out a leg and deflects the ball away from danger for the moment. McDonald picks it up from Liverpool. Back to Lawrenson. Inside the Liverpool half. 30-yard ball to this near side of the field for Beglin. And Beglin goes on a run. Runs straight into trouble. Manages to avoid it. still has possession. He's got Johnston ahead of him. The flag is up for offside. The referee momentarily waved play on and then decided to award the free kick. That would have been offside against Ian Rush.
Yes, it's just slight hold up here. Mulby's got a knock, but it's notable that Liverpool are getting the two fullbacks forward. Quite a bit of regularity, really. Nicol and Beglin looking very confident.
Liverpool, that phenomenal record in the league, champions 16 times, but cup winners only twice. A bit of a hoodoo, really, Wembley Stadium for them. The two victories, 1965, and then 12 years ago when they beat Newcastle United, 1974. Liverpool in possession. Mulvey's long ball played forward. McDonald chases. Stevens is there for Everton. Lays it back safely to Mims. And Stevens with good pace. Well the measure of the Liverpool midfield player on that occasion. Mims, long clearance. Headed on by Reid, who suggests he got a kick in the head from Ronnie Whelan. Whelan's foot was just a little high. The ball is out of play in the near side of the field. And are we getting a free kick? We are indeed. Dangerous play against Ronnie Whelan. Mind you, Peter Reid isn't the tallest man in the world, and I'm sure he was ducking for that one. Nevertheless, referee says free kick. Minefield will take it. Right-footed to the edge of the penalty area. Liverpool's defence clears well. Chested down by Mulby. Mulby back to Lawrenson, and Lawrenson's clearance to Dalglish. Lovely touch forward by Dalglish for Rush, where the referee decided to blow for the foul because Minefield was late in his challenge against the Liverpool player manager, and that's really unfortunate in a way, Jim, because it was definitely a foul, but it was a swift Liverpool break and a hint of danger there for Everton.
Yes, I think he's got a knock at the top of his leg, it looks like to me. Looks like he's got a knee in his buttock, I think I would imagine. But Liverpool are prepared to play the ball forward to bring the midfield players into the game. Everton so far disappointing me. When they've got the ball at the back, they've knocked it forward, looking to use the pace of Lineker all the time. And consequently, I think they've broken down too often because the Liverpool defence have seen this sort of situation before. They're reading it well, and they're closing them down. So consequently, they're keeping Lineker out of the game. If they can do that, they've got half the battle won.
The applause for Dalglish as he gets up. Lawrenson takes the free kick quickly, finds Beglin on this near side. Beglin's long ball forward once more, looking for Johnston. Headed clear only as far as Rush. Ratcliffe in there for Everton once more. Now Nicol for Liverpool. Right edge of the Liverpool penalty area. Gets the rebound off Sheedy. Lays it back to Mulby. Mulby beats one player, runs into a second. Ball breaks for Nicol. Nicol forward to Johnston, who's well offside. Another free kick to Everton. And this offside game is one that Everton employ most successfully, or have done certainly these last two seasons, and it's caught Liverpool out a few times already today.
One thing I've noticed, we were talking about McDonald making his runs. When Mulby's gone forward, McDonald's had a tendency to hold back. I wonder whether that's the ploy, to get the two fullbacks forward and one of the midfield players. I think that looks to be the ploy, and hold the other player in front of the two central defenders.
18 minutes gone in the 105th FA Cup final. Still scoreless at Wembley. Aberdeen still lead Hearts 1-0 up at Hampden Park in the Scottish Cup final. Everton on the attack with Stephen. Finds the fullback Stevens on this near side of the field, level with the edge of the penalty. Cross comes in, takes chance there for Graham Sharp. Graham Sharp appeals it and is brought down by Steve Nicol. The referee runs back towards the halfway line, and Everton felt they had a penalty, and from where we're sitting, looked to have a penalty with good cause.
Well, I would have said so, yes, because he looked to me as though he had a free header. We were right behind the flight of the ball as it came in. His legs seemed to disappear from underneath him. I must admit we're all of about 60 yards away from the incident, but we had a pretty good view of it. Certainly his legs seemed to disappear from underneath him there. Everton certainly protest quite strongly.
Well, we're used to players making half-hearted appeals for penalty kicks. That was a universal appeal from Everton. Reid and Sharp and Lineker all dashed back after the referee. He wanted none of it. And the end result is that there is no penalty, and it's still scoreless. Grobbelaar's long clearance, headed on by Nicol, into the Everton half. Dalglish jumps with Minefield. Minefield pulls Dalglish out of the way, and Everton on the attack with Lineker, far side of the field. Level with the edge of the Liverpool penalty area. Takes Lawrenson on, gets the cross in, and Nicol heads behind his own goal. A corner to Everton, and Everton's best fell in the match.
Everton needed that. Did well there, Lineker. Prepared to take his man on. Showed his pace down the left-hand side. Actually got his cross on. It was headed away for a corner. It's not just that, it's the fact now they've got the ball together with a move now down the Liverpool end. That'll do them a world of good.
Trevor Stephen will take it right-footed from the far side of the field. In swinging corner. Up goes Sharp, but Mulby wins it for Liverpool. Heads out of his own penalty area. Dalglish wins possession and then wins the throw-in off Sheedy. And the boos come up from the Everton fans who felt that the Liverpool player manager was backing into Kevin Sheedy. Not so says the referee. Throw into Liverpool. Midway inside their own half. Nicol will take it down to McDonald. Back to Nicol. Long clearance from the full-back. Rush can't meet it, but then he wins it off Vanden Hau's leg. Back to Dalglish. Dalglish has Mulby to his right. Keeps possession after the tackle by Reid. Lays it short to Johnston. Couple of yards from the goal line. Cross comes in. Up goes Rush. Headed over the bar. And Ian Rush with a glimmer of a chance there, but he couldn't get above the ball and keep it down underneath it over the bar.
Great skills by Dalglish that. First of all, he rides a tackle, prepared to put a physical battle on for a 50-50 ball, won it, and then the layoff pass to Johnson looked nothing at all. It was weighted perfectly. Johnson got the crossover, right onto Rush, heading it over the top. Superb skill by Dalglish.
Sheedy for Everton. Inside the Liverpool half, tries to find Lineker. Helped clear by the Liverpool defence, and then Ratcliffe plays it to a red shirt in the shape of Craig Johnston. Johnston looks up, strikes it right-footed. Still to remind you that it's Aberdeen 1, the Hearts 0. In the Scottish Cup final, John Hewitt with the goal for Aberdeen. Here it's still Everton 0, Liverpool 0. Bracewell. Short to his right for Stephen. Stephen lets the ball run away from him though. Minefield wins it back. Now Bracewell does very well. Chances past two Liverpool players. Plays it away from Whelan, and then Stevens runs into a little bit of trouble, but Everton still in possession. Sharp, back to Stevens. Still inside his own half though. Looks up, hits it long, right-footed for Lineker. Just outside the penalty area. Tussling with Lawrenson. Linesman flag goes up for a foul against Lineker, but the referee waves play on. And Grobbelaar clears quickly. Right-footed. Stops midway inside the Everton half. The Everton captain, Ratcliffe, wins it for his side. Lays it out to Stevens, near side of the field. And Everton can try to attack once more, but it's going to break down as we reach the midway point in this first half. The 12th meeting in the FA Cup between these two great sides. And the balance so far, just on Liverpool's side, they've won 6 to Everton's 5. To take us through to half-time, Peter Jones.
The ball is halfway inside the Liverpool half, and Reid is strong, and he plays it to his left, and the player goes down, appeals for another penalty. This time there was no question it wasn't. It'll be a corner to Everton.
Great tackle that by Lawrenson. It was just at the right time. Good move by Everton there. Broke quickly from midfield. Ball was slotted through. Lineker was onto it. Lawrenson showed his pace. Perfect.
Trevor Stephen takes the corner then for Everton far side down their left. It comes in high, and Grobbelaar missed it at the first attempt, gets it at the second attempt, and bowls sensibly out to his player manager, Kenny Dalglish. It's a little too heavy a pass in the end, and Bracewell will clear. Not far enough as far as he's concerned though. McDonald, the hard man in midfield for Liverpool. Whelan keeps it coming towards us. That's the Liverpool left. Begden lays it through the gap to McDonald. Again tries to find Whelan. Accuracy was missing. Everton take possession just below us. 5 yards inside the Liverpool half, but Liverpool win it back. Good tackling by Begden, the fullback. And then the ball is laid through the gap once more. And again, McDonald's done well to find the gap, looking for Ian Rush. Good defensive work once again. You remember Derek Mountfield passing a late fitness test earlier this morning, so he's alongside his captain, Kevin Radcliffe. And there's some handful to get through for any striker, as the ball is played deep inside the Liverpool half, and it'll go into touch, and it'll be a Liverpool throw. And incidentally, the little man who was sitting precariously high up on the roof on the far side, having a marvellous view, has now been withdrawn from the scene. It's 0-0, and 24 minutes have gone in the first half. Just below us, Liverpool left. Whelan doesn't get any sort of accuracy there. It didn't matter because the ball had crossed the line. And Gary Stevens, one of the 8 men on the pitch this afternoon, that are bound for Mexico for the World Cup finals, will take the throw halfway inside the Liverpool half. Below us down the Everton right. 0-0 here. High throw. Grobbelaar's lost it badly. And the ball is cleared by his captain, Hansen. That was a terrible, terrible mistake by Grobbelaar, who just palmed the ball away. and another cross comes in, and this time Grobbelaar's better and looked rather more like a goalkeeper.
Yes, I think the Liverpool players were glad to see that ball cleared for the first time. He seemed that as the throw was taken, he came for it straight away, made his mind up to come and get it. He palmed at it, but dropped, fortunately, to a Liverpool player. Anyway, got his confidence back with the second one. He came out, 12 yards out of his goal, took it very cleanly.
Not a good clearance, though, by Grobbelaar. Goes straight into touch and gives Everton possession with a throw down their left flank, 5 yards inside the Liverpool half. Van den Houw, the fullback, takes the throw. The other fullback, Nicol, gets there for Liverpool. Ball bouncing from one to the other at the moment. It's now halfway inside the Liverpool half. Reid calling for the ball. Then the end is played even wider to Stevens. Stevens will hold it. Little chip ball high inside the area. Lawrenson's there with a good header. Plays it away into space to help out the rest of his Liverpool colleagues. Finally cleared by Beglin. It skips off the top there of Mountfield's head, but fortunately for him, Radcliffe was able to clear up. Finds Reid. Bracewell's knocked off the ball, though. Rush inside the centre circle. Good ball to Dalglish. Dalglish going forward here for Liverpool. He goes inside the defender. He chips it forward. And it's wide, and the flag has gone up in any case for Dalglish. It's actually offside. But some danger for Everton, James.
Yeah, it must have been pretty close, but there was no hesitation by the linesman. None at all. It was a lovely reverse pass by Rush. He knew he must have had eyes in the back of his head then to see Dalglish there.
Ball again deep inside Liverpool territory. Whelan will clear, looking for Dalglish, can't find him, and Stevens for Everton will find Reid, the chunky figure of Reid, back to Stevens, plays it once more, Bracewell will pick it up, fakes to play the first ball early, then doesn't, and then gets himself lost because Whelan tackles fiercely. And the ball is still, though, only 10 yards or so outside the Liverpool penalty area to our right. Everton coming rather more into the game after a splendid first 15 minutes by a very confident Liverpool side. Their captain Hansen has it now. Halfway inside his own half. Can't find another red shirt, and in the end plays it 20 yards to Johnston. First time header from Johnston. Accuracy was missing. Idea was there. And Radcliffe can pick it up. Captain of Wales and captain of Everton. Indeed, for the third successive FA Cup final, he's been the captain. Moby. Back to Beglin. And Beglin can do one thing only, which is to turn back towards his own goal and hits it 15 yards to Grobbelaar. Bounces the ball once. Right to the edge of the area, Bruce Grobbelaar, good kick again with the breeze, looking for Johnston. Johnston can't get over the ball before Van den Houw. Now he does. Dalglish, good ball. Moby, back to Dalglish, but spins off Dalglish's foot, and Reid is there to snap it up quickly for Everton. Long ball forward, looking for Lineker. A chance here for Lineker. Grobbelaar has saved it. Lineker's there again, and Lineker has scored, and Everton takes the lead. A lovely through ball. Lineker was there. He was being chased. Grobbelaar came off his line, carried the first one. Ball ran loose. Lineker was there. It's his 40th goal of the season, Gary Lineker. It could be important. 28 minutes have gone here. Everton take the lead. Liverpool 0. Everton 1.
Yes, Liverpool have been pushing off past Everton from the back. And it was going to be a case, I thought, of who beat the offside trap, gets the first goal, because the ball, when it came, it was Lineker's pace that saw him through. He got the first shot on. Grobbelaar did well to palm it. And Lineker, second time this season, in 40 goals in one season. What a great way to get your 40th goal.
Well, there you are. The noise now is that particular blue part of Merseyside. Everton have got the lead here. And the ball is with their goalkeeper, Bobby Minns, the man who's taken his chance right royally and well. The injured Neville Southall, of course. A rather sad figure, Neville Southall, as he limped across just before the start on crutches, along with Neil Poynton, the young fullback, who's also got a leg injury. They're down there, though, just behind the Everton bench. They'll be pleased. They'll afford a smile. 60 minutes to half-time. Liverpool 0. Everton 1.
Yeah, I think one point we should mention too. It's a good pass from Reid. Just broken this deadlock. He timed it well. The delivery was good. A superb pass, really.
Liverpool themselves, though, will go forward, and the ball is with Dalglish. Dalglish tries to go outside the defender. He can't. Ball half cleared. Stephen comes back to clear it completely. Throw into Liverpool, who now, with all their experience and quality, of course, will want to snap right back if they can. The longer Everton hold the lead, then the better their chances look in the 1986 FA Cup final. Moby for Liverpool. Halfway inside the Everton half, strikes a good ball out to the right to the fullback, Steve Nicol. Nicol comes inside the defender, slips a little short ball. still just outside the Everton penalty area, though. Now the cross will come in. Mims is there, but Mansfield takes no chances and heads the ball away for a corner. The Liverpool roar comes in from the terracing away to our right, but the flags are waving away to our left. We're all blue and white. Everton 1-0 up here. But it's Liverpool who have the corner then, far side, down their right-hand side, and Kenny Dalglish, well, he looked as if he wanted to take it himself. In the end, goes and takes it short. Receives the short ball inside the Everton penalty area. He drops to McDonald. McDonald with a little chip. And in the end, it's a couple of yards wide. Good idea for McDonald. He saw Mims just slightly off his line. Ball was a couple of yards wide.
Yes, good fight. Good answer back by Liverpool. Since Everton scored, they've struck straight back, looking to get back into the game again. Old cliche in football, good time to strike back as soon as the other team scored. And Liverpool have tried to do it. Dalglish showed a bit of tenacity in the edge of the box.
As Mims will take the goal kick then for Everton, drops it inside the Liverpool half, but it falls to McDonald, plays it back to Hansen, the tall Scottish captain of Liverpool, through the gap, finds another Scotsman, Kenny Dalglish. In the end, the ball played wide to the eager, ever-running Greg Johnston, yard in from the far touchline. Good tackling from Van der Hau, loose ball though to Mulvey, through looking, and Stevens did well there because Rush was coming on the end of that ball from Mulvey. Graceful for Everton, deep inside his own half, and a long ball laid forward. Ratcliffe on the halfway line. Stevens, well, he could have just taken an extra second there because it was a good chance. And again, Lineker goes galloping forward, but the flag, I think, has gone up. In any case, and the referee says that'll be an infringement against Lawrence. So it's a free kick to Everton, and it's about 5 or 6 yards outside the Liverpool penalty area, away to our right. And a huge blue balloon bounces and skips away in the wind on the far side. That's underlining the fact Everton are 1 up. Sheedy takes the free kick quickly, headed away well by Hansen. Still only a couple of yards outside the Liverpool penalty area. Everton leading here by 1-0. Gary Lineker the scorer. And Stevens just below us down the Everton right, back to Gary Stevens, the fullback. Long ball from him inside the Liverpool penalty area. Beglin gets hold of it, doesn't quite control it though. It's taken away from him by Stevens. Reed screaming for the ball, he doesn't get it. And the ball is laid wide to Bracewell. Now it reaches Reed. Reed square, Stevens. Early ball from Stevens inside the area. Again, looking dangerous there, Everton with those 2 sharpshooters in Lineker and Sharp himself. Dalglish gets it wrong this time. McDonald was 20 yards away, but he's never ever going to get that ball. And Everton clear their lines down their right flank. That's just below us. And we've got 13 minutes to half-time here. Everton leading 1-0.
Yes, bit of confidence crept into Everton since that goal, naturally, as one would expect. Haven't seen a great deal of Trevor Stevens so far. He's started to show himself a little bit now. I think from Everton's point of view, I think they desperately needed that goal because they looked a little bit underconfident to me at the beginning.
In the meantime, Everton have won another free kick. Lineker again was the injured party. And this free kick is about halfway inside the Liverpool half. And as you can hear all around us, this part of Middlesex is ringing with Evertonian songs at the moment. They lead by 1-0 against the side that only last week tipped them at the post for the championship. Trevor Stevens takes the free kick short from Stevens. High, long ball from him. Still inside the Liverpool penalty area. Johnston's come back to help out his defence. He needs to, too. The ball is close to the Liverpool corner flag in a quadrant of shadow on the far side. Most of the pitch in brilliant sunshine here. And it'll be a throw in to Everton, which the fullback, Pat van den Hau, will take. The Belgian, now a successful Welsh international. It's a long throw, Van den Hau, and he backs away towards the hoardings behind him. 3 or 4 yards from the Liverpool corner flag, and the throw does come in long inside that Liverpool area. Whelan's there to head the ball away. Dalglish will pick it up. Good challenge though coming in from Sheedy, acting as a defender there. Long ball, drops to Grobbelaar, challenged by Lineker. Grobbelaar was perfectly confident and safe there. Holds the ball carefully. 1 or 2 scares and alarms on 2 occasions from Grobbelaar for his defence. 1 or 2 useful saves as well. Indeed, from the Lineker run, he did save. The first one scrambled it away, did well. I think he didn't get his hands to it, but the ball just ran agonisingly loose for Grobbelaar, and Lineker was there to slot it home with all the confidence of a man scoring his 40th goal. Great noise, and all of it Evertonian at the moment.
I think Bobby Robson will be glad to hear that news of Guy Lineker's goal, way up in Colorado. I don't know whether he can hear us today, but I'm sure that goal of Lineker's will just be what he's the kind of thing he'll be looking for. But it just shows how important it is to have a man with great pace at the front. You know, he can always get you something when there's a bit of a struggle on, and I think that's important.
As the ball is played back safely to Grobbelaar, the Liverpool goalkeeper to our right, and Incidentally, Gary Lineker was telling Trevor Brooking before the game that he's wearing old boots today because he found when he used new ones, he couldn't score with them. So he's got old boots that are rebuilt. A right good job they've done for him, too. As the whistle will go for a free kick to Everton. A bit of pushing and shoving by Ian Rush. Such a sharp competitor now, Rush. Had an indifferent middle of the season, but the Welsh internationals come back strong. As Mims holds the ball carefully, there's not a player within 25 yards of the Everton goalkeeper. Drops it onto the halfway line. Good challenge comes in from Ronnie Whelan. McDonald comes in with a challenge too. Reid comes there to try and sort it all out and give a bit of pattern to the play. He's done that by dropping it onto Stevens, the fullback. Long ball forward. Johnston tries to pick it up. Good challenge by Bracewell, but he's lost the ball in the attempt, and Hansen can pick it up. And with plenty of time, can play it to Nicholas, fullback, then just slots it square in field to Moby. Moby finds McDonald 20 yards or so inside the Everton half to our left. McDonald still holds it, then square to Whelan. Whelan puts it onto his right foot, tries to thread it through the gap, spins off Bracewell. Little back heel from Dalglish. Wasn't quite read there by either Bakelin or Rush. Well, I think Rush read it, but went the wrong way. And it'll be a throw to Liverpool, straining every muscle now to perhaps get on level terms. And they've got 9 minutes to half-time to do just that. They take the throw short, and it's back to Whelan. In turn, back to McDonald. McDonald, high inside the area, looking for Rush. Rush controls it, gets the shot in. Deflected, though, off Ratcliffe. Did well there. And the ball is cleared, and Everton looking for the quick break from which they got their goal. Lineker, the scorer of that goal, finds Reid, who set up that goal. That's offside on the far side by at least 4 or 5 yards.
Yes, you're right, Peter. It was a great tackle that by Ratcliffe. Rush turned ever so quickly, struck it with his left foot. It was goal bound, certainly. Ratcliffe got his left foot across, and it came out. It's noticeable, though, when it came to the other end. Now, quickly, the Liverpool defence had pushed out. That's what both teams are doing at the moment, pushing forward as quickly as possible, trying to catch the other team offside.
And it's McDonald again for Liverpool, looking for Johnson, and Mims comes quickly off his line. Again, good tackling by the Everton defence. It was Van den Houw that time, who just got a foot in as Johnston was trying to go in for the kill. And Mims also did well, the goalkeeper, and Johnston went spinning, but he's very quick off the mark, is Johnston. We've seen him scoring goals like that before, and Johnston, a little wearily, he got up from that, was about 30 yards still offside. So it'll be a free kick to Everton, halfway inside their own half. Leading here by 1-0 up at Hampden Park. It's still the same scoreline. Aberdeen 1, Hearts 0. Here it's Liverpool 0, Everton 1. Ratcliffe, the captain for Everton. Left-footed free kick. Almost on the edge of the Liverpool penalty area. They try to play it back to Stephen. They can't do so. And Liverpool will regroup again. Whelan forward. Little thick back header from Rush looking for Moby. Back to Rush. Tries to find Dalglish. Good clearance again by Ratcliffe, but only onto the head of Whelan for Liverpool. But the ball is with Everton once more. Gary Stevens, the short ball to Trevor Stephen on the halfway line for Everton. Long ball forward. And I must say, the flag went up immediately. Linesman had no doubt to call. Players always feel aggrieved, of course. Indeed, Sharp did there, but the flag went up with no hesitation. And Liverpool take the free kick, and in the end, Johnston slips, but still plays the ball 30 yards back to Bruce Grobbelaar.
Yes, Liverpool are pushing the back four out quickly. And what they're trying to do, of course, is to catch Everton offside. They've caught them offside nearly every time. The one time they didn't, of course, Lineker's got through and scored.
Dalglish with a little header, getting a good ball there from Hansen, but Bracewell's there. Long through ball now. Is he onside? Yes, he is onside. Sharp. And Sharp's on the edge of the Liverpool penalty area. Has to control it and check his stride. Plays it square. Sheedy. Back to Sharp. 10 yards in from the far touchline, the Everton left. Back to Van den Houw, his fullback. Square once more to Bracewell. Bracewell keeps it coming towards us. The right back, Gary Stevens, waits for it and collects it. McDonald shadows him, but he still finds Stephen. Stephen flicks the ball outside. Whelan has gone too far, disturbs the photographers. Goal kick to Liverpool.
Yes, that all came off another forward run by Sharp this time. It was Beglin, the player, who kept him on side. I think the tactic, obviously, from Liverpool's point of view, is to try and counteract the pace of Sharp and Lineker. They're pushing the players forward all the time. If one player holds back, the whole lot then is thrown out of proportion, really, and they're getting caught.
Kick from Grobbelaar is again long one, and the free kick is this time going Everton's way. Molby going in a bit strong, very powerful, square-shouldered Danish international Molby. Again, had one or two stuttering moments in the season, has come very strong, although he wasn't there at Stamford Bridge last Saturday when Liverpool clinched the championship against Chelsea, but he's fit for this afternoon. A very important member of that Liverpool lineup he is. And Everton waits. to take the free kick, in no particular hurry to do so. It's a splendid comfort if they go off from the tunnel away to our left to look at the scoreboard, which at the moment says Everton 1, Liverpool 0. And Everton have the possession again. Sheedy with the cross, looking for Sharp, drops to Stephen, and runs away a little bit too quick, I think, for Stephen. And in the end, the ball fractionally over the line, and he just got a control of it. And you may remember, if you were with us just before the kick-off, Trevor Brookings saying how a little bit surprised he was that there was so much grass. He felt that perhaps they could have done with a little razor blade or two. I don't know whether that's having any effect on the players, but as Trevor himself was saying, it might count in the last 10 minutes of this final. And at the moment, Everton are 1-up in this final. Rush, watched carefully by Mountfield, and has to play it back in the end. Beglin, the fullback, finds McDonald, tall and leggy figure of McDonald. Back to Beglin. There's not a lot of room to move in Beglin, but he still finds McDonald with a return pass, laying it forward, too far forward. Ratcliffe says that'll do nicely, and lets it run on to Bobby Mims. He's playing in the manner born here. His first cup final came from Rotherham. Neville Southall had that accidental ankle injury, which turned out to be so serious. And there's Bobby Mims performing splendidly. As a long ball is played once more, deep inside the Liverpool half, but there's time in the end for Lawrenson to tidy up. Well, the pass back in the end was safe enough, but I must say there were players like Sharp hanging around the place and Lineker. I don't think he'd be trying to do that too often. McDonald, Moby, flattened by Ratcliffe. This time he stays on the ground, and Ratcliffe wants to take the ball away. Rather petulantly, I thought, Ratcliffe there trying to run away with the ball. And in the end, the free kick is taken. And Moby is back in the action, inside the centre circle, plays it wide, Liverpool left. Whelan comes inside Stevens. Whelan tries to play it through the gap, gets it all wrong. Good work by Bracewell, nice simple stuff, straight back to Bobby Mims. Rapturous applause from the Everton supporters. Pleased at the moment that with some 3.5 minutes to half-time, it's Everton who lead 1-0. And the facts of the past would always suggest that it could be Everton's day, because whenever Liverpool have won the championship, it's Everton who've won the cup and the other way around. It's never been one Merseyside team that's won both. As the ball is inside the Everton half and played towards us, Stephen just checks for a moment and then just plays a nice simple safe ball back to Stevens, back to Stephen. Good control again by him. Possession stuffed by Everton here. Stevens this time tries to play the ball forward. It collides with Whelan, but there's plenty of time for Stevens to go back under no pressure at all. And just play it gently back to Bobby Mims. Holds the ball carefully, a couple of bounces from him as the seconds tick away for this first half of the 1986 FA Cup final. And a goal from Gary Lineker in the 28th minute makes it Liverpool 0, Everton 1. Liverpool in possession, but deep inside their own half. Beglin onto the head of Rush. Little back header from him, looking for Dalglish. Ratcliffe read it. In the end, has to give away the corner. That's the better as far as he's concerned, than allowing Dalglish to come in on it. And it's Dalglish himself who'll take it. Maybe short. Craig Johnston's there with him. That's exactly what he does. Johnston will find the fullback Nicol, who's come forward to help out. The cross comes in from Nicol. It's a bad one too, but it comes back too far. And Everton might almost come themselves on a break with Trevor Stephen. But the ball will bounce it a touch, and that'll be an Everton throw in any case. And Van den Hau, the left back, has come all the way over to the right-hand side of the pitch wanting to take it. And he can't, because the ball is just kicked away from him, or flicked away by Whelan. So now Everton have the ball, and they'll wait for Gary Stevens to take the throw. Short to Stephen. Challenged by Whelan. Stephen plays the ball the way he's facing, which is his own goal. And again, Mims, with all the confidence in the world, comes out right to the edge of that Everton penalty area. We're now in the last minute of this first half, as Johnston challenges well as Van den Hau came in, but could do nothing with the follow-up run, and the ball will run into touch, and that same Van den Hau will take it when Bracewell gives him the ball, which he's done. And it's on the halfway line, down the Everton left, which is the far side from where we are, high up over the halfway line. Everton 1-0 up, have possession. Now they've lost it. Liverpool looking for the break themselves. It's got to be quick. Moby comes inside Reed. Still Moby. Finds Whelan down the Liverpool left. Back to Moby, halfway inside the Everton half. Plays it forward. Rush will chase after it, but it's away to the left for him. Still holds it. Plays it back to Beglin, the fullback. Square to Moby. Tries the shot. Cannons off Bracewell. Dalglish just inside the Everton area. Tries to play it through the gap to Johnston. Johnston was offside. The referee saw it, but as Everton had the possession, he allowed play to go on, which is reasonable enough. And just a little bit of petulance again on the far side. A little bit of pushing and shoving in the referee. Alan Robson will go over and sort it out. And we're now moving into injury time here.
Yes, Full marks to Everton, really, so far. I think the back four have done extremely well. Very aggressive in their approach. They've not given anything away at all. And the midfield players are close ranks. They're making it very hard for Liverpool. People like Mulby and McDonald, Whelan having to go across the pitch all the time.
Mims then with the goal kick for Everton, and there goes whistle blown by referee Alan Robinson. So Gary Lineker is the man who did it for Everton in the first 45 minutes as Howard Kendall gets up and almost sprints across the pitch. Gary Lineker in the 28th minute, his first shot after he'd been set up superbly by Peter Reid, was scrambled away by Bruce Grobbelaar, but the ball spun away from the Liverpool goalkeeper, and Lineker was there to score his 40th goal of the season. As the players troop off then away to our left and as the band walks on, the Liverpool players, well, they look up and not see a sight they like. Everton will be delighted because it's Liverpool 0, Everton 1.
So Everton holding the edge at half-time here at Wembley, and at Hampden, Aberdeen ahead against Hearts, leading by 1-0, a goal scored by John Hewitt. Sitting with me in the commentary box here, high above the pitch at Wembley, Ken Dodd, who's a Liverpool fan. And Ken, you're not happy with the scoreline, I know that. I've been watching you during the first half.
I think Everton got a lucky goal when Bruce Grobbelaar, when he sort of fumbled that thing. I thought of that TV commercial, welcome back to butter. But I think Liverpool have got more ideas, put more ideas together than Everton, and I think second half you'll see Liverpool really come into their own.
It really promises to be a great second half. Let's get the views of Phil Neal, of Brian Hamilton and of Trevor Brooking, our panel, who have watched the match from our position high above the pitch. Starting off, first of all, with you, Brian. You're obviously delighted that Everton are ahead.
Well, I think the game started off and Liverpool settled much quicker than Everton. There's quite a swirling wind and it took the Everton players a while to
very quickly for offside. Mulby and Dalglish, in varying accents, turned to the referee, Alan Robinson, saying something like, "I think you're wrong, ref." But the linesman was perfectly positioned and the free kick has been awarded. The Everton fans in good voice, as you might expect. 3 minutes gone in the second half. Everton still leading through the Gary Lineker goal. Bracewell into Sheedy, just inside the Liverpool penalty area. Cross comes in, Grobbelaar's under it, does well, and immediately tries to set Liverpool on the attack. Good long throw from Grobbelaar, finds Rush, just short of the halfway line. Back to Whelan, forward to Mulby. Good ball to Dalglish, but he's offside. Half a dozen yards inside the Everton half. As the Everton defence pushed up, Dalglish knew at that time all right. Throws the ball down and disgusted himself for being caught there. And Kevin Ratcliffe will take another free kick for Everton. Only Ratcliffe and Mims inside the Everton half. Long free kick headed on by Sharp. Lineker's inside the penalty area. Half cleared. Bracewell for Everton. Just outside the area now. McDonald finally stretches out that long right leg. Directs the ball back to Grobbelaar. Grobbelaar once more gets the clearance in quickly. Headed on by Rush, but there's no one in support for the Liverpool striker. And it goes straight through to Mims. Mims plays a 1-2 with Gary Stevens, his right full-back. Decides against throwing the ball to Van den Heijn, kicks long. Drops midway inside the Liverpool half. Good control by Lineker, the goal scorer. Still in possession. Lays it 15 yards to his right for Stevens, just outside the penalty area. Cuts inside, tries a shot. Wide of Grobbelaar's goal. Behind for a goal kick for Liverpool.
Certainly Everton look more effective at the moment. Last 20 minutes of the first half, in these few minutes we've had since half-time, midfield players joining up with the front players. That's the difference between them and Liverpool at the moment. McDonald, Whelan, Mulby, Johnson, not really linking with Rush and Dalglish. They've got to get together a bit more often to put pressure on Everton's defence. But it's hard against Everton because they push out very quickly. And the midfield players in front of them are fighting for the ball as well.
1-0 to Everton here at Wembley. Up at Hampden Park, I can tell you that it looks like heartbreak for Hearts. It's now Aberdeen 2, Hearts 0, a second goal for John Hewitt. Liverpool on the attack with Dalglish, and then Dalglish is beaten by a combination of Mountfield and Stevens. It's now with Trevor Stevens. Runs straight into Kevin McDonald, and McDonald looked to have run the ball out of play, but the referee awarded a free kick, taken quickly by McDonald. Rush inside the penalty area, lays it back for the shot by Kenny Dalglish, high over the bar, left-footed. Kenny puts his hands on his hips, disgusted with the effort, and it's a goal kick to Everton.
Did well, McDonald there. He was very alert. He had the free kick taken before before Everton knew what was happening. And as the ball came in, that was great skill by Rush, because he had his back to the goal. He fought off the challenge of Mountfield and laid it back into the path of Dalglish. Coming in, it was a hard shot really, that Alan. It was on his left foot, it was at an angle, it was a difficult one, but not one of his best, as you say.
Trevor Stephen for Everton, midway inside the Liverpool half, far side of the field. That's the Everton right in the second half. Back to Stevens, forward to Reid, hard on that touchline. Back to Bracewell, quickly played forward. Lineker, back to Stephen. Good build-up by Everton. Stevens with a low cross. Nichols there for Liverpool. And Nichols plays for about a couple of yards from the penalty spot. Out of play on the far side for a throw-in to Everton. Stevens, the fullback, will take it. Down to the feet of Reid. Reid turns inside, one red shirt, then a second, lays it to Vandenhaar. Vandenhaar's cross, not a good one, but Beglin has difficulty controlling it, and Liverpool give it away. It's with Sheedy, outside the penalty area, inside, shot from Sheedy, just wide! And Liverpool can only blame themselves. What a mess in their defence. And Kevin Sheedy took his opportunity very, very well. Sprinted past the defence, the right foot shot, just wide of Grobbelaar's goal.
Yes, they got in a mess there. Beglin, Hansen, they got in a mess, and consequently when the ball broke, Sheedy showed the greater aggression. He took it in between them, but on his left foot would have been in. Right foot just past the post. Grobbelaar would have had no chance.
7 minutes gone in the second half. It's still Everton 1, Liverpool 0. Gary Lineker with his 40th goal of the season in the 28th minute. And Lineker and Sharp between them have now scored 64 goals this season. Of such are trophies won. And I wonder will that prove the case this afternoon. Everton have a free kick just inside the Liverpool half. On the Everton left, Ratcliffe will take it. Drops it into that Liverpool penalty area, headed clear by Lawrenson, runs to Bracewell. Bracewell claims a handball against Johnson, and the referee awards the free kick. The boos come up from the Liverpool fans. And this free kick for Everton, midway inside the Liverpool half, about 30 yards out, and it will be a very long-range effort if Kevin Sheedy has a go from here. 5 in the wall. Sheedy tries the shot, and good save by Grobbelaar. Dive low to his left-hand post and push Sheedy's shot away for a corner. It seems so far out, there didn't seem to be that much danger, but Sheedy can really strike them with his left foot. And Everton have a corner. Sheedy will take it, left-footed, in swinging to the near post. McDonald gives away another corner, and Liverpool flapping just a little bit at the moment.
Yes, it was a great free kick by Sheedy, that. I mean, he was all of 30 yards. A bit of wind behind him now, though, Alan. And he had a bit of confidence in it with the outside of his foot, and it seemed to be curling into the far post. Grobbelaar did very well. It was hard to see whether it was in from this angle, but
Sheedy with the other corner, in swinging, headed clear by Molby. It's going to drop to the feet of Reid. Out to Sheedy once more, first time cross. Sharp is under it, Grobbelaar can't make it, and Lawrenson has to clear away from the post for Liverpool. Everton still in possession. Bracewell, the high cross, right-footed. Sharp is under it. The ball bouncing dangerously, and Liverpool really don't know where they are at the moment. Beglin and Grobbelaar getting in a terrible tangle. Grobbelaar finally gets the ball. He has more than a few words with Jim Beglin. And really, that was actually quite over the top from the goalkeeper. Even if it was justified, at one stage he pushed Beglin away.
Yeah, it looks a bit temperamentally suspect, the pair of them there. They were squaring up to each other for a minute, and actually Grobbelaar gave him a shove. But I think it was a bit of temperament that lost it. There seemed to be no problem at all at first, but it all stemmed from the fact when Grobbelaar got the first cross, and they all looked a bit edgy then. It was, I should imagine Kenny Dalglish and everybody with a red scarf on this ground was very pleased when Grobbelaar at last had the ball in his hands there.
Well, the Everton fans loving the start to the second half that their team has made, and wondering perhaps if they can capitalise on this present uncertainty in the Liverpool ranks and get a second goal. The ball hit long by Mims, headed clear by Hansen. Drops though to Stevens for Everton, far side of the field. Stephen is short and he gets the ball and hits it long, looking for Bracewell. Now it's with Sharp, a yard in from the far touchline. Wins the throw in off Jim Beglin, who is looking the most uncertain of the Liverpool defenders at the moment. And Stevens, level with the edge of the Liverpool penalty area, winds up those arms once more. throws long, great depth, but straight into the arms of Grobbelaar on that occasion. And Grobbelaar could do with calming things down for a moment or so, letting his defence sort themselves out and getting closer to the halfway line. And what does he do? He makes a terrible mess of the clearance, hits it out of play on the far side of the field for a throw-in to Everton. Stevens will take it. The right full-back, firmly entrenched, it seems, in Bobby Robson's plans for Mexico and England. Ball midway inside the Everton half. Mountfield just a little short with the pass back to Mims. Rush was herring towards the Everton goalkeeper, but he was out safely as far as Everton were concerned. Has possession now, edge of his penalty area. Right-footed from right to left. He's going to drop into the path of Lineker, but Nicol and Lawrence in between them. Win possession for Liverpool, back with Grobbelaar, and the clearance hit first time. Whelan, poor pass inside, off the head of Nicol. Vandenhuis, long ball forward. Lineker's chasing, he's onside. Hansen is there. And Hansen, the Liverpool captain, gets there a yard ahead of Gary Lineker, something that didn't happen in the 28th minute when Lineker scored, and Liverpool survived. Beglin now hits another long pass. Dalglish chases. Mountfield wins it though for Everton. Good pass out to the far side of the field for Stevens, who then gives the ball away to Whelan. Inside to Mulvey, just outside the penalty area. Enormous rush inside the area. Great chance for them. And what a score! Minutes gone in the second half. Liverpool get the equaliser with a lovely swift move, but what cool finishing from Ian Rush. He gathered the ball just inside the penalty area, danced around Mims, and then stroked it beautifully left-footed into the goal. His 32nd of the season. It's Everton 1, Liverpool 1.
And I think Gary Stevens will remember that for a long time, because he had possession of the ball. There was no problem when the ball was given to him by Mountfield. He tried to play it down the line. He put it straight into Mulvey's path. They got sorted themselves out quickly. It was a chance, but Mulvey made it into a chance with the through ball. And it was incredible, really. Rush was magnificent in that one-against-one situation. You know, Alan, Mulvey actually knocked the referee over when he went to congratulate Rush there. He was that excited.
Liverpool on the attack once more. Craig Johnson plays a rather hopeless cross, actually, because there were no Liverpool players that far forward. Runs harmlessly to the far side of the field for Stephen. And back to Mims. The official attendance this afternoon, 98,000. And the receipts, tidy little sum, Jim, of what your salary and mine put together, £1,100,000. Everton 1, Liverpool 1. And the statistic, which is always quoted on occasions like this, but you can't help it, Ian Rush, when he has scored for Liverpool, they've never lost. What omen does that hold for the rest of this match? Just over half an hour left of normal time. Mulvey trying to find Rush once more. The ball eludes the Welsh striker, the goal scorer. Back to Mims. Ball quickly thrown out, far side of the field for Stevens, whose error helped cause that goal as far as Liverpool were concerned. But that's no criticism of the build-up, which was lovely and sharp, and great finishing from Ian Rush. Hansen now deep in the Liverpool half. Lineker is there, so too is Sharp, and finally Lineker diving in, touches the ball harmlessly past the Liverpool goal line. Goal kick for Liverpool.
Yes, I think Liverpool needed that goal at that time, Alan, because they were fading a little bit. The defence was looking edgy. The midfield players weren't getting in the game. That's why I thought a lot of it must go down to Gary Stevens. He gave the ball away, and it's got them back into the game. But just one point, I think Rush is probably as good a player as I've seen him in these one-against-one situations where he's just left with the goalkeeper. He can go either side, left foot or right foot, makes no difference, and he finds that extra yard of pace from somewhere to take it just past the goalkeeper, and no matter where the angle, left foot or right foot, he can get it back on target. He makes it look easy, but it's a hard skill.
30 minutes left for play, certainly of normal time, and of course, with these two sides so tight, who knows, shall we have extra time for the 5th time in 6 years at a Wembley FA Cup final. There's a free kick to Everton, midway inside their own half. Mountfield, who passed that late fitness test this morning to his great delight, takes it, right-footed. hits it long, using the wind, bounces off the head of Johnston. And just for a second, there was a hint of danger as Lineker closed in on Grobbelaar, but Grobbelaar's got the ball, clears right-footed, drops to Dalglish, controls it, turns away from Bracewell, beats him a second time, beats Sheedy, plays it inside Reed from McDonald, who's worked very hard for Liverpool this afternoon. Good ball out by McDonald to Whelan, far side of the field. Rather quieter time from the Irish international. Ball jinked inside that Everton penalty area. McDonald can't make it before minefield. The clearance by Everton. Lineker can't control it though, short of the halfway line, and Mulby wins it for Liverpool. Looks up, strikes it right-footed, 40 yards. Johnston jumps with Vandenhuyde. Ball breaks for Nicol. Nicol tries to lay it into the path of Johnston once more, but Ratcliffe is there for Everton. Forward to Reed, midway inside the Everton half. Good ball out to the far side of the field for Stevens. Back to Stevens, the fullback. It's going to head out to the England midfield player once more, Stevens. Back to Stevens, right-footed, first time. Lineker chasing with Hansen. Lineker almost makes it. Sharp with a header, and Grobbelaar touches the ball over the bar. A corner to Everton. What a tremendous piece of thinking by Graham Sharp. He was on the edge of the Liverpool penalty area as the ball went towards him off Hansen's half-hit clearance. Tremendous header, and Grobbelaar did ever so well to save the day for Liverpool. Everton have a corner. What a sparkling second half we've had. Stephen makes the motion to go to take the corner, then the wind blows the flag towards him, finally gets it at the second attempt. In-swinging corner, Grobbelaar gathers it neatly under his own post. What a tremendous save by Grobbelaar.
Yes, it was. The ball seemed to be a little danger at first, but Hansen was suddenly put under pressure by Lineker. It was his pace that caused the problem. Hansen's half clearance came across the D on the edge of the area. Sharp did well, really. It was a good head. It was just under the bar, and Grobbelaar was running backwards. That's the kind of save he's really good at. When agility is required, he's really superb at it.
Yes, it's easy to criticise Bruce Grobbelaar, but, you know, he does ever so well. But Liverpool on the attack. Moby, the long road plays and Johnston is scored for Liverpool! Within 6 minutes, Liverpool equalised, and now they take the lead. And once again, it was Jan Mulvey who was involved. He won possession inside the Everton penalty area. There didn't seem that much danger at first. He jinked past two defenders, crossed low, and there was Craig Johnston unmarked on the far post. Mims had no chance. It's Everton 1, Liverpool 2.
Did ever so well, Mulvey. It was his strength that got him through the tackle, drove it across the box, his left foot, and Dalglish had a go at it, and he missed it. And I think it put the Everton defender, I think it was Vandenhauer, just put him off a little bit. It came across the 6-yard area. There was Johnson, all on his own. But he can't believe it, Johnson. And, all the problems suddenly in 6 minutes have all become Everton.
Well, Liverpool, I'm sure, can't believe it because they started the second half with such uncertainty, and suddenly they're in front. Remarkable. But this final, really buzzing now. Tremendous game of football, just what we needed. The two best sides in the country, Liverpool champions, Everton runners-up. And now, I wonder, is Kenny Dalglish just walking away as Liverpool prepare to take a corner, or rather a throw-in? Will Kenny Dalglish take Liverpool as player manager to the double? Johnston, the goal scorer, heads on rather tamely, and Vandenhuyde will let it go behind his own goal line, behind for a goal kick to Everton.
It's amazing, really, what difference a goal makes. At the time that Liverpool got back into the game, when Rush scored, they were looking at the worst they looked in the entire game. It just takes one moment, really, to change everything. That's where a player like Rush counts for such a lot. He transforms the whole team with one flash of brilliance.
I'm sure Hard Kendall can hardly believe it. We were saying only 10 minutes ago, can Everton use their dominance, their temporary dominance as it proves, to score a second goal? Well, no, because it's that great, resilient team of Liverpool who pulled 2 goals back and now lead Everton. The ball is back with Grobbelaar inside his penalty area. Ball kicked right-footed from left to right. Johnston's under it. He can't meet it though, and it's out of play for a throw into Everton. Vandenhuyde, the fullback, will take it. Radcliffe is captain inside, looking rather dazed, as well he might. But Vandenhuyse throws long, and Everton win another throw in, this one midway inside the Liverpool half. Bracewell will take it. Down to Sheedy. Back to Bracewell. Back to the full-back, who hits it right-footed into that Liverpool penalty area, off the head of Hansen. No Everton player in sight, and Grobbelaar out. Delighted to get his hands on the ball, and to think that Grobbelaar and Declan were squaring up to each other just a few minutes ago. And now all's happy in the Liverpool ranks. Goalkeeper's long clearance against the wind. Good distance on that occasion. Off the foot of Mountfield, though. Midway inside the Everton half to Vandenhuyse. Inside to Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe looks up. Left-footed pass to Stevens, which he'll just keep in play on the far side of the field. Everton right. Looking to head it long for Stephen to chase. But Stephen won't meet that one. And Hansen guides it back safely to Bruce Grobbelaar. Ball now out of play as Liverpool make rather a hash of that attempted build-up on the far side of the field. The referee awarding the throw-in to Liverpool, taken by Whelan. Still inside the Liverpool half, back to Hansen. Hansen returns it once more to Grobbelaar. And Liverpool, you know, Jim, in these circumstances so frequently can close up the game. They've got the skill, and certainly they're trying at the moment just to calm things down and let Everton do the worrying.
That's right. They would make sure that Everton don't strike back all too quickly. That's one thing they'd always try and do.
The ball played long for Sharp, just outside the penalty area. Sharp can't control it. Lawrenson does well. Hits it short to to Johnston. The danger's still not clear. And there was a foul by Lawrenson on Peter Reid. The referee quickly in to sort it out as the two of them looked at each other for the moment. And now McDonald and Bracewell are having words. And there is no love lost on the pitch out there this afternoon. So much at stake for these two teams. Liverpool going for the double. Everton trying to prevent them. Everton have a free kick. We've reached the midway point in this second half. And to take us through the full time, Peter Jones.
And Kevin Sheedy will spot up the free kick for Everton halfway inside the Liverpool half. Takes it with that trusty left foot of his. It's too heavy and too long. So the Stephen running from the right-hand side could never get hold of that one. And we really have had a remarkable transformation here in about 15 minutes, because Liverpool frankly looked ragged in the first 15 minutes or 10 minutes of the second half. Everton seemed to be getting stronger and stronger. And then bang, 2 goals, as Jimmy Armfield was saying. A little bit of genius in the end from the Welsh international Ian Rush. And it's turned the whole scene here Liverpool's way. Ball just below us, and a bit of pushing this time by Craig Johnston, Kevin Sheedy. So it'll be a free kick to Everton, who hurry now to take the free kick a yard or two inside the Liverpool half.
Yes, it's important, very important part of the game this now. This is the time where Liverpool can try and consolidate. All the effort now must be coming from Everton.
Vandenhuyse takes the free kick for Everton below us down the Everton left. Sharp heads up straight in the air. Good challenge coming in though from Nicol, the fullback for Liverpool. Finds Rush. Dalglish on the halfway line starts to accelerate forward. He gets round 1, gets round 2. Can he play the ball into Ian Rush? He can't. Good running. Ball breaks to Mulvey. Mulvey shoots. And in the end it's wide. But again, lovely build-up. Good close control and skill by Kenny Dalglish. In the end was closed down and Mulvey's shot goes wide.
Yes, Everton pushed forward as they did then in that situation. They've always got that problem of Rush being there. He was the one who got the ball originally, transferred it to Dalglish. It's notable too that Mulvey is now getting up there in support, isn't he?
Yes, he's showing his presence certainly, and has done in the last 20 minutes or so, as the ball is played deep into touch by Steve Nicol, Liverpool's right back. Everton takes the throw just below us here, and a feeling that possibly now Howard Kendall will use super sub Adrian Heath. I know he hates that name, Adrian Heath, but my word, he's scored some vital goals for Everton when he's come on as a sub. He's just doing a bit of gymnastic exercises away there on the sand to our left. Liverpool 2, Everton 1. The ball is deep inside the Liverpool half. Sharp challenges. The end, he's got what he wanted, which is the throw-in off the legs of Nicol. And Bracewell races across to take the throw for Everton. And in the end, he leave it sensibly to Vandenhuyse. Got a much longer throw. Backs away across from the green turf. Comes up. And in it goes, high inside the Liverpool penalty area. Good header by Lawrence, and shot comes in from Sheedy. That was deflected off, I think, McDonald. And it'll be a corner to Everton. Pressing now on Liverpool, who lead here by 2 goals to 1 after trailing 1-0 at half-time to a Gary Lineker goal. Corner then to Everton. It's played in again, high to the near post. Grobbelaar comes out, this time holds it nicely and firmly, as he's being challenged there by Gary's team, the tall fullback who's come up for the corner. Grobbelaar holds it carefully. There's a long look downfield. And up in the Scottish Cup at Hampden, it's still Aberdeen 2, Hearts 0. Aberdeen 2, Hearts 0. Here at Wembley in the 1986 FA Cup final, it's Liverpool 2, Everton 1, as the ball is played deep inside Everton territory. Only a half clearance by Ratcliffe. He's helped out by Vanden Hauwe, though, who in turn is helped out by Reid. Square finds Bracewell, back to Reid, plays it through the gap inside the fullback Lawrenson, but he's quick as Lawrenson. And he got there a good couple of yards before Sheedy. And now we've got all the rapturous applause coming in from the Liverpool supporters to our right. And I see Steve McMahon, their substitute, doing a bit of limbering up below us as well.
Yes, I think he's going to be the first one on, though. Howard Kendall usually does this, doesn't he? Get behind, start time running out. How long to go? 20 minutes?
20 minutes.
Yes, he may throw Heath on.
As the ball is, again, a long way inside Liverpool, half away to our left. Lawrenson makes a little bit of a nonsense there. In the end, comes back to make up for his mistake. It could have been a very expensive one, that. But in the end, the ball is cleared. Vanden Hauwe just below us in bright sunshine still plays the ball with that left foot of his. Underneath it, Lawrenson. McDonald with a header. Craig Johnston, scorer of Liverpool's second goal, plays it forward. Good head work, though, by Mountfield. Ball cleared by Vanden Hauwe, but he was slipping and skidding away from that. And indeed, just to underline what we were saying a moment ago, we've got Everton's Adrian Heath who'll come on. And Howard Kendall comes out. And I've no doubt has said, do it for me. And Gary Stevens, the fullback, is the one to come off. Adrian Heath cost £700,000 for Stoke City. He scored 15 goals this season, 2 in the FA Cup. He got important goals against Tottenham and against Luton, when Everton almost seemed to be dead and buried. Can he do it now for Everton with some 18 minutes to go? Could be a fascinating last 18 minutes here at Wembley, with Liverpool leading by 2-1. This after Everton went in 1-0 up at half-time. Johnston tries to control it. Good 3 or 4 inches across the line there. Referee was right there. And it will be left to Kevin Radcliffe to take the throw 5 yards or so from his own corner flag. Lineker being hemmed in by Nicol, and then challenged by McDonald. Molby, whose presence has been much more... Oh, a lovely through ball from Dalglish through the legs of Ratcliffe. McDonald lays it forward. The idea was there, but again the accuracy was missing. Johnson couldn't get there, and it's a goal kick to Everton.
It's a funny way up, actually, what Howard Kendall was thinking about with his substitution. We've got 3 defenders now. Vanden Hauwe on the right, Mountfield in the middle, Ratcliffe on the left.
Well, that's Howard Kendall's last card as far as he's concerned here. And one of those defenders, Vanden Hauwe, is chasing away on the far side. And Ian Rush comes in and counts him on the ground. And Vanden Hauwe himself takes the free kick. Both Welsh internationals together, but with quite different pedigrees. Vanden Hauwe, long clearance. Good header coming in, though, from Hansen. He's so commanding in the air, Alan Hansen. I think a lot of people were surprised that he's not been chosen to go to Mexico for Scotland. But Felicia Miller, with the central defenders preferred in the end. But Hansen's such a good player. Heath gets his first touch of the ball. Lays it wide. Vanden Hauwe tries to lay it inside the fullback. Can't, but he's won the throw. We've got 17 minutes to go to 90 minutes here in the FA Cup final, and Liverpool lead by 2-1. Vanden Hauwe will take the throw for Everton, halfway inside the Liverpool half. Cleared again well, though, by Beglin, but then pumped inside the Liverpool penalty area. The header comes in from Sharp. Still 5 yards inside the Liverpool penalty area. Sheedy, can he get the cross in? Good challenge from Craig Johnston. Still gets the ball back to Heath, though. Finds Sheedy. Sheedy still just inside the Liverpool penalty area. Heath tries the cross. It's challenged, though, by Nicol. Heath comes back to pick up the loose ball. Finds Bracewell. Bracewell 10 yards in from the near touchline. He plays it off the knees of Molby. Will it go into touch? It doesn't, because Nicol's there to stop it, and then Nicol in the end decides to play it in the touch because he was under pressure from Peter Reid. So Everton pressing forward here. They've used now their substitute, Adrian Heath. Pipped in the championship by Liverpool, of course, by a mere whisker. And they're 2-1 down to that same Liverpool side going for the double. They take the throw in back to Radcliffe. Bracewell has to slow it down, lays it square. Sheedy, cross comes in from Sheedy. Get a good header. Hansen looking good again in the air. He gives away the corner, but it was safe enough. Pressure again on Liverpool, then away to our left. They lead here by 2-1. Trevor Stephen will take the corner for Everton down their left flank. Takes it to the near post, looking for the back header. Molby's there as an extra defender. Liverpool clear long from Dalglish, looking for that quick break, of course, from Ian Rush. Ratcliffe was there first. He's lost it, though. McDonald plays it forward. All Ratcliffe can do as he slides to the ground is hit it 30 yards back to Bobby Mims' goalkeeper.
Yes, that's the one thing they have to watch for Everton. You've got to push men forward now, but when Rush is up there, he must be like a thorn in your side, really.
As Lawrenson goes down, I think that was an accidental elbow to give him the benefit of the doubt. Sharp, but the referee doesn't think so, and he's just having a quiet word, but I have no doubt with a lot of authority. And Lawrenson picks himself up rather gingerly. What a good buy he was from Brighton, Mark Lawrenson, the Republic of Ireland man. And now it's Liverpool's turn to be in no great hurry to get on with set pieces. They're 2-1 up, but it's a slender lead. And Everton will press everything here to at least get one title this season. The free kick from Nicol, still fairly tight to the near touchline. Drops into touch. It came off Bracewell. Craig Johnston, scorer of Liverpool's second goal, takes it quickly. Dalglish, he's hemmed in by blue Everton shirts, and one of those shirts, worn by Bracewell, plays it back on the first bounce to Mims. Mims lays it wide. Van den Hau playing the right back position now after Heath came on as a substitute. Long ball from him. Claims for a free kick for the foul, and it's given, or is it? Yes, it is given. Foul on Adrian Heath, who tries desperately to get hold of the ball to put it back for the free kick. And now they've taken the free kick. Trevor Stephen going down the right for Everton, checks his stride, comes back towards his own goal. Van den Hau is there to help him out, tucks it back to Stephen again, square to Bracewell, halfway inside the Liverpool half. Bracewell, long ball, edge of the area. Good challenge coming in, and a fair one too by Hansen, but the loose ball's picked up by Sheedy. Bracewell twists and plays it back to Sheedy, 10 yards into the near touchline, the Everton left. Long ball from him, drops wide just inside the Liverpool penalty area. Little chip ball. Sharp heads the ball back. Reed chops it forward, looking for Heath. Headed away once more. Shot comes in from Lineker. He was falling as he hit it. It was a long, long way over the top of the bar.
Doing well, Everton. They're pushing the game really at Liverpool. They're doing well to sustain it as well. It puts a lot of work on the midfield players, but they're sticking at it. Liverpool haven't won it yet.
And news coming in from Hampden Park, and Thurl Hearts are in trouble again. They were picked so dramatically for the championship, which would have taken it back to Edinburgh for the first time in 26 years. They've now gone 3 behind against Aberdeen in the Scottish Cup final. Billy Stark has scored their third goal. That's Aberdeen 3, Hearts 0. Here at Wembley, we've got 13 minutes by our watch, and it's Liverpool 2, Everton 1. Dalglish trying to go forward. Mountfield read it well, though. We're a bit Everton are pleased that he passed that late fitness test against all the odds, I'm told, this morning to play for Everton. Ball headed back again. Ian Rush is going forward. Ratcliffe's there too. Rush still there. Ratcliffe, though, his fellow Welsh international, was too strong for him and covered well. Play it back to Mims. Van den Hau, far side, down the Everton right. Everton trailing here by 2-1. And the ball is 5 or 6 yards inside the Liverpool half. They tuck it into Rush. Controls it. Van den Hau comes in to challenge. Illegal challenge too, says the referee on Ian Rush. It's a free kick to Liverpool. And I've just had another bit of news from Hampden Park. It's that Walter Kidd has been sent off, one of the Hearts players, so they're 3-0 down. They have a man sent off. Not the best of afternoons for Heart of Midlothian. Here at Wembley, time now matters. 12 minutes to go. Liverpool 2, Everton 0. McDonald for Liverpool. Johnston does well to control. Clips it square. No red shirts there, though, where the ball went. Reed with the blue shirt for Everton comes galloping forward. Only makes a mess of it. And Liverpool have the possession again with Whelan. Whelan will tuck it to Rush. Rush is inside the Everton penalty area. He's got Van den Hau with him. Plays the ball back to Kenny Dalglish. Dalglish lays it square. Mulvey's there. Inside the Everton penalty area. Mulvey with a chance. Great save by Mims. Mulvey was there. I'm sure Mims could see the white in his eyes. He saved well there. That would have been the killer for Liverpool. They still lead 2-1 here. Good save by Bobby Mims. Everton have the possession. Looking for the quick break themselves. Sheedy. 5 yards inside the Liverpool half. Nicol with some difficulty heads the ball away, then stumbles, picks himself up, cuts a nice little ball to Johnston. Craig Johnston doesn't have much room to move down the right, comes inside one tackle, comes inside two, can't find Dalglish, loose ball to Reed, Reed forward, and that's offside against Gary Lineker. Frightening sight for any defender. And Lineker, I think rather stupidly there, goes on and plants the ball in the net, not only because he must have heard the whistle, but certainly Everton wants the time, everything they can get you.
Yes, I thought there were 3 behind then. It's a lovely move again. Rush, Dalglish, and then power really by Mulvey. He seemed to surge through the defence on the left-hand side, and once he got through, I thought that was it because he struck it ever so well. Bobby Mims did well, came out, got his legs there. Deflected it. That's a very good save.
Rush controls it well from the clearance by Grobbler. Goes round one defender. He can't get round the second though. The ball just ran away from him there, and Van den Hau did well and plays it back to Mims.
Missing the 4th defender, of course. now, since Stevens has been substituted. It just shows there now, when you've got a player like Rush, and a player with him like Dalglish who can think things out as well, it's a bit of a problem for the three of them.
And one of those three, Derek Mountfield, takes the free kick with Rush, who's offside, edge of the Liverpool penalty area. Sheedy comes in to challenge. Ball breaks loose though, and there's plenty of time there for Jim Beglin, with now 10 minutes to go here in the 1986 FA Cup final. And Everton, who are 1-0 up at half-time, are now 2-1 down to the old rivals, Liverpool. Again, Mountfield does well, because Moby, when he comes in with a challenge, is like an earth remover. And Mountfield did well there. Clears his lines, little flick on once more by Sharp. Appeals for handball against Lawrenson. No, says the referee. Plays it forward. Dalglish inside the centre circle. Finds Whelan, who's come up in support. Whelan will play it towards us. Craig Johnson down the Liverpool right. Comes inside a rather half-hearted challenge there from Reid, which is uncharacteristic. Moby is knocked off the ball, though. Reid goes forward, challenged by Johnston. Sharp lays it right to Lineker. And Lineker can't quite control the ball. Beglin did superbly there. And lays it square. And Whelan plays it back. And now the members of the constabulary start walking round the arena here, which again is always a good sight if you're in the lead. Rash goes galloping forward for Liverpool on the break again. Ratcliffe will stay with him. He's 5 yards outside the Liverpool Everton penalty area. Moby with a little chip to the far post. It's a little bit too far forward, but Dalglish has kept it in play. Plays it back. Whelan shoots. Yards wide. Not a good build-up by Liverpool, but so quick on the break. And as you say, Jim, Everton with three defenders are a bit stretched now.
Yes, looks to be holes appearing. They could have lost another goal there. Rush's pace again was the original problem for Everton. When the ball came across, Mulby involved in it as well. This is always a problem when they're chasing, but they've got to go for it now. Nothing to lose. Must go, just push men forward. I think they've got to try and get back in their time's running out. When you say, Peter, when you see those fleets, they'll walk out.
That's it. And they're trying to do that, though. Stevens takes the ball up from Heath. The cross comes in from Stevens. Robillard watches it going over the top of his head, though. Two challenges coming in, but that was always going to go over the goal line. So danger averted for Liverpool. They lead here by 2-1. And Bruce Robillard, who's had his moments of eccentricity again, but he's made one or two good saves and one outstanding save from a lightning header from Graham Sharp. We have now 7.5 minutes to go. If Liverpool can hold on, then it is the great double. Only the second team this century, if they do it, alongside the great Spurs team and, of course, Arsenal. But there is still now 7 minutes to go. And Everton will give it all. And they have a throw 5 yards or so inside their own half, almost immediately below us. It's down the Everton left. Captain Ratcliffe takes it. Short. But the sharp challenges tend to be coming in from Liverpool, although Sheedy picks up a loose ball. Wide. Beglin heads the ball away. McDonald's there to help out. Nice ball from Whelan onto Johnston's head. Rush there, lovely control from Johnson again. Moby, and he lays the ball wide. And Whelan is galloping deep inside the Everton half. Whelan's just outside the Everton penalty area. Whelan will chip it wide. Rush is there. And Rush has won the cup for Liverpool. A lovely through ball again. The Irishman, Ronnie Whelan, was there. He turned it to the right. And Ian Rush, steady, knocks in his 32nd goal of the season. It's Liverpool 3. It's Everton 1. Ian Rush is the hero, because surely the cup now will go to Liverpool and the double will go to Liverpool. The man is Ian Rush.
Tremendous, really. I still think that when you've got a player like Rush, it's amazing how he can transform a whole game for you. And put in that situation there, full marks to Whelan, he did well. And Dalglish made the run to take the player away. Whelan put it across the box, and as soon as it dropped onto his right foot, I thought to myself, that's it. Because he's so clinical, that finish. Can you see that? So he's got one goal with his left foot, and one with his right foot. You're not going to bet he's not going to get one with his head before they go on, please, are you?
Well, as Alan Green was saying earlier, it's a little fact we always tuck away that when Ian Rush has scored for Liverpool, they have never lost. Were they to lose now in the last 5 minutes of the game, I think they would never go back to Merseyside. They lead by 3-1, and this after Everton had played so well in the first half, and were leading by 1-0. And here come Liverpool again. They are crushing now. Craig Johnston going down the right, keeping the possession sensibly, gets away from two tackles, Molby, arrogance now from a team who knows surely they're on the way. As Peter Reid brings down Steve Nicol. And Nicol will be in no particular hurry to take the free kick for Liverpool. And what a season now this looks as if it's going to be for player-manager Kenny Dalglish. Manager of the year, and it could now be the double for Liverpool FC. My word. In the meantime, Stephen is back there deep inside his own half. Van den Hauwe. But Everton must feel a little bit desperate now. Liverpool beat them at the last gasp for the championship. They're 3-1 down, but they're still going forward. The cross will come in. Robillard is there and saves quite splendidly. Holds it quite firmly. And if you were listening to us earlier, you'll find that something like 20 minutes ago, he was having a stand-up fight almost with Jim Begley, his fullback. There was so much harassment. There seemed to be so much argument going on in the Liverpool defence, and Everton looked much, much the better side. Then came the Ian Rush magic. Johnston made it 2-1, and then the double Welsh magic from Ian Rush makes it 3-1. But there goes Stephen, far side for Everton. Cross comes in. Nicol heads away heroically. Ball is still just outside the Liverpool penalty, Liverpool penalty, I should say. And then they lose the ball. Rush comes back into midfield. And in the end, Whelan chips the ball 25 yards back. Away to our right. It's the Kop. It's Anfield. It's a great club. 3.5 minutes to go. Liverpool 3, Everton 1.
Certainly can't see Liverpool getting this away. I think they look very confident. And since the second goal, really, it's totally transformed. The way things are at the moment, they could conceivably pinch another one,
Johnston goes galloping forward again. Another good timely tackle, though, by Kevin Radcliffe. Played splendidly as Radcliffe. Back to Bobby Mims. No question of nerves from young Bobby Mims. Lacks experience, but he's been splendid. A couple of very good saves, one in particular from Molby. There comes Dalglish. In the meantime, Craig Johnston is down on the ground. Dalglish is brought down by Bracewell. No love lost there. Dalglish has lost the boot in the process. I didn't think he would care if he's lost his boots, his socks, his shorts and his jersey. It wouldn't matter, because Liverpool surely now are going to win the double. Craig Johnston is still in a little bit of trouble after he was tackled by Radcliffe. There's plenty of time, and now that famous shout of Dalglish, which the Liverpool supporters do so well, and rings round the rafters at their own home, up there on the Kop. We have got 2.5 minutes to go. It's Liverpool 3. Everton 1, Craig Johnston still having treatment to what looks like his left ankle. I think he's up on his feet. He'll stay there now. And it'll be left to Steve Nicol, the fullback, or will he leave it to Molby? There's a yard in from the near touchline, the Liverpool right, and in the end, Dalglish says, I'll do it. My word, it'll be a lovely trip home for Liverpool supporters tonight. Dalglish, back to Nicol. Chops it forward. Johnston. Bracewell comes in and puts it 25 yards into the enclosure away to our right. 2 minutes to go. Liverpool 3, Everton 1. Johnston will take the throw. Left stocking around his ankle. Back to Molby. Good challenge again, though, by Reid. Gives away the throw. And some of the amateur whistlers in the Liverpool contingent wanting the game to end. There's still 1.5 minutes to go here. Molby, and all they need do now, obviously, is just keep the possession. No frippery is needed. The match is in the pocket now. McDonald with a header, halfway inside the Everton half. Nicol, and he's fouled by Heath. And Nicol himself will take the throw, or Molby's always there. And the referee comes over and has a word with Steve Nicol. I think a suspicion that he did kick the ball at Heath there after the foul had been given. Nicol, Johnston, challenged by Reid. Reid got the possession. Great fighter, Peter Reid. Forward just below us. Sharp lays it back to Sheedy. Sheedy's still a long way to go, though. And Johnston comes in very well and challenges him and plays the ball into touch for a throw. Within the last minute of the 1986 FA Cup final. Liverpool 3, Everton 1. Keith, the substitute, plays it wide. Trevor Stephen has got Van der Hauwe up to support him. Stephen holds it, then starts to go square, just outside the Liverpool penalty. He's running out of space, I think, a little bit here. And in the end has to tuck it back to Reid, who loses it momentarily, then picks it up again, plays it to Radcliffe. He's going to try a little bit of heroics on his own, possibly. He's lost out on it, though. Dalglish, Rush, and Rush has got McDonald on his right, and Rush looks lethal again, and Rush will play it to Dalglish. Dalglish plays it to McDonald. He gets it wrong. He's serious with himself. We're now moving into injury time, and the cup belongs to Liverpool here. Mims throws the ball out quickly. Sheedy. Square to Van den Hau. Stephen close to the far touchline, the Everton right. Heath goes galloping after it. Can he at least bring a little bit of glory here for Everton, even if they're not going to win the game? He can't. Down he goes. It came off the legs of Lawrenson. And it'll be a corner to Everton in what could now be their last assault here on this May afternoon at Wembley. They take the corner short, and they'll sing forever here now, the Anfield contingent. Back to Bracewell, though, for Everton. High cross. Grobbelaar, one-handed this time. Easy, he says. No problem. But that's, of course, always the case if you're 3-1 up with seconds to go. Long ball from Hansen, looking for Dalglish. Dalglish goes into challenge. Mims is outside his penalty area, has to clear the ball, drops onto Moby's head, the Dane, who now just rather arrogantly, quite correctly, of course, the arrogance of success there, plays it 30 yards back to Grobbelaar. Perhaps this is Grobbelaar's last kick. I'm sure you won't hear the final whistle any second now. Here comes Rush again. Rush going forward for Liverpool, and he chips it forward, and Mims saves splendidly. Done so well, Jimmy, hasn't he? What he did.
Yeah, he did very well there. I thought he just looked a little bit of fatigue, just crept into Rush for a minute there. I thought he was going to go round him, to be honest.
Well, as I say, you won't hear the whistle any second now, but you'll hear a roar. And incidentally, we've got the result of the Scottish Cup final. Poor old Hearts. It's Aberdeen 3, Hearts 0. We've got seconds to go here. Alan Robinson from Waterlooville looks at his watch. He looks at his other watch. He looks at both linesmen. That's the Liverpool roar. And Liverpool have done the double. Absolutely marvellous scenes then in the centre circle. And a nice sight there. One of the first men to come up and shake two of the Liverpool players' hands was Peter Reid, a great competitor. Peter Reid of Everton, who will be shattered. And yet now goes up and shakes the hands of the linesman and the referee. It's been played in great spirit, this cup final. But everything now belongs to the men from Liverpool. They've done so well here this afternoon. They came back after they were 1-0 down at half-time. And that man, Ian Rush, I think, turned the game for them, Jim.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. It's amazing, a little bit. I've always thought how important pace was to strikers, but I don't think it's been proved more emphatically this afternoon. We had Lineker in the first half, where his pace saw him through, and then Rush again in the second half. I think everybody will acknowledge that Rush has got all the talent to score goals. He's always had that. Even when he was at Chester as a young player, he's had, 30 goals, 4 seasons out of 5, is it now? And here he popped up with 2 goals again. But there's a bit more to it than that. Liverpool have come a long way in the last 4 or 5 months. Prior to that, they weren't playing particularly well, I didn't think. Last 4 or 5 months when it counts, there they are, they've done it again.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, the man with the broadest smile on his face up here in the commentary box is the former Liverpool star, Phil Neal. Fairly satisfied, Phil?
Brilliant, yeah, magic. Yeah, I'm pleased that I'm actually sat here above them all witnessing this memorable day. Smashing, yeah, great. They started the second half, as I said, a lot faster, a lot quicker. And after the initial Brucey missed the cross, and Kevin Sheedy had half a chance, they dominated and got onto the mistakes. And like I say, Ian Rush is like a leopard going onto its prey, and he certainly got onto that one and punished them.
Well, now we come, of course, to the traditional moments, which is always the same as far as the ceremony is concerned, but it's all...